Hey everybody, Jake here, and today we're going to take a look at some paper. This is going to be a review of the Rhodia Notepad, number 16 Notepad. I have a one with a cover here, just Rhodia. This is particular one's the dot pad, but they also have lined versions. There's some information on the back, blah blah blah. Anyway, you can pick these up for about $5 or $6. It's 80 sheets of 80-gram paper. It is white paper, not cream colored or anything like that, and it's A5 size, this particular paper that I'm looking at. So again, Rhodia number 16, 80 gram, and here's how some pens performed on it. So I have ballpoint, rollerball, and then a wide selection of fountain pens in multiple nib sizes, from a Japanese fine all the way up to a flex nib. And then I did kind of a smear test here so you can see how they smear on the paper. Look on the back here. And you can very clearly see some show through in certain spots, especially right up here. But no bleeding or anything like that. And even the show through is fairly minimal. It performs fairly well. Most of the Rhodia paper I've used is very, very smooth. This particular notepad had a little bit more tooth to it for some reason. Certainly not bad though. Rhodia paper is probably my favorite semi-affordable paper. If you can't get Tomoe River, this is some really good stuff. My first couple papers were this and a Leuchtturm 1917 notebook. Vastly prefer this, and that's why I keep buying them. But they work really well for ballpoints and roller balls. Although, you know, it's probably not why you're here. Probably here for the fountain pens. Again, they work very, very well for the fountain pens. I've had no issues with any fountain pens on this paper. I had to try pretty forcibly to get some bleed through, even with my Duraflex. So that's what I did this ink test down here for. So I did some pretty heavy dotting. I can actually feel the texture as I run my hand across the page because of the ink. That's interesting. Same thing here. And then I did these lines. So I did one stroke down, and then I did 2 strokes, 3, 4, etc. So finally, we got some bleed through. So you can see here on the dots, I flexed each one of these dots 7 times. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can see we did get some bleed through on these last few lines. You can see on 1 and 2, not much on 1. You can see a little bit of show through on 2. A tiny bit of bleed through on 3 and some heavy bleed through on 4 and 5. So doing 5 passes with a very wet flex nib did make this paper bleed. But I had to really push it. I was surprised, honestly. Going to flip this back over. And we have a water test. So these are various fountain pen inks. You can see none of them held up particularly well. Then I have a rollerball and a ballpoint which held up a lot better. So this paper is not very water resistant at all. It is starting to crease a little bit and things like that. Your inks won't last very long if they're not waterproof in the first place, but I figured this would be a decent way to test the paper. So you can see how different pens perform on it ink-wise. But overall, this paper is very, very good. If you haven't tried it, I highly encourage it, to be honest. Again, you can pick these up for about $5 or $6. They have 80 sheets, A5 size, and Rhodia makes a bunch of different size notepads and things like that. So take a look at their line. The paper's made by Clairefontaine, I believe. I've heard they have really smooth paper. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it yet, but, you know, check that out too. If you like smooth paper with very little feedback, this is going to be where to go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to check out my other videos that I've done lately, and keep an eye out for an ink review coming up soon. Alright, thanks, guys. Bye.